All right. Welcome to the NorCal Sports Network. Wednesday night, the Giants get a much-needed victory today, 3-1. The bats are still silent. We'll get into all of it, but the Giants desperately needed this win. They could not come home 2-4, losing the final game of a road trip to maybe the worst team in baseball. Well, them and the Rockies. But, hey, welcome, everybody. We got Vince Russo joining us, along with Eric as well. So let's get into it, gentlemen.
Dan, before we get into it, I got a couple things I got to get off my chest.
Go for it.
First of all, how come I'm not in the cold open? There's a lot of ham and eggs in that cold open. I'm not in that cold open.
Okay.
Where am I in that cold open? Also, Dan, listen to me. Let's talk for a minute, shall we? You guys talk me into getting in this Mickey Mouse fantasy baseball league. And the first of all, bro, like everything I said before this league started, Eric, have I not been 100% correct on?
You have been correct, yes.
There were not enough bench spots. There were not enough injured list spots. And then, Dan, they tell me because of you, Dan, they tell me, well, bro, we can only have 60 transactions for the entire year. And I tried to explain, bro, the whole art of fantasy baseball is you have to manage your team every day. You don't want to limit the number of transactions, bro, because that's what makes a good manager. Knowing when to pick somebody up, knowing when to drop somebody. Yep. You don't want to limit the transactions, bro. So, Dan, they don't listen to me. Eric, it is April 17th. Bro, you got about 3 teams, Dan, that have over 30 transactions.
I see it. I'm laughing.
I said to Eric, Eric, you better say something to these guys, because they don't have a clue, bro. They don't have a clue that they're already halfway through their transactions. Yeah. Eric, did you smarten anybody up yet?
You know, it's funny because I put that as soon as I talked to you, I put that in group me. I was like, hey, just want to let everyone know, hey, there's only 60 moves that you can make as far as the waiver wire. The trades are unlimited until the trade deadline, but there's only 60 moves you can make. And then after that, hey, you're on your perfect example today, especially when you're talking about with the bench. I had Cabrian Hayes at third base. I had to keep him in there.
There's not enough bench spots, bro. There was no reason to have a limited number of bench spots. That's what I was trying to tell you, bro. You're going to wind up every single team when you go to your roster, bro. At the end of the year, bro, you're going to go to every position. You're going to be -10, -15, -12 because there aren't enough bench spots. That's what I tried to tell you.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm laughing because the league leader, if you're out there listening, I'm just chuckling. The league leader, the season is 11.5% completed, and he's used 55% of his moves.
That's just I know.
He's going to come to the point where the trade deadline passes and guys are injured, and he's going to have nobody.
He's going to have nobody. God, I'm getting pissed off. I got Pete Fairbanks on my damn team, and
he blew a save tonight, didn't he?
Oh, he's done that a couple of times already.
Yeah.
And they're bad, too. It's bad.
He doesn't look – that's the problem with the Rangers. What happened to Leclerc?
Tampa Bay. He's Tampa Bay.
Oh, that's right. He's Tampa Bay. Yeah. So that's right, against the Giants. He doesn't look good, man. They ought to trade for that kid from the Phillies that I picked up on the fantasy.
Kirkering. Who was it?
Kirkering.
That's he was on IL though, right, or something in the beginning.
Yeah, he was sick. He was just sick, and they made up a phantom IL to get him spring training in the minors.
I also got Josh Hader, and today he had a good outing, but oh my God, he's been pretty bad too.
Didn't they lose today, 1-0?
They did.
Yeah, thank God for the Giants. I mean, everybody in the division lost today, which was huge for them. Everyone.
Yeah,
in the
Nationals beat
division
the
lost.
Dodgers. Yeah.
And bro, that's another thing too. I mean, listen, guys. I want to say this. If you guys could have seen me last night, my wife thought like my dog died or something. I was so depressed and so disgusted. And I mean, bro, we're about 20 games in now. And like, I feel like every other night I am so depressed and so disgusted. However, guys, I mean, there is one thing we have to look at. There's a couple of things to look at. First of all, man, they're playing miserably. And I think what's really depressing, I think, is it's twofold for me. Number one, coming out of spring training, the expectations were sky high. That's number one. And then, Eric, number two is, man, bro, we're just getting thoughts of last year. Bro, I swear to God, when I was playing fantasy baseball last year, Don, I was telling everybody, bro, whoever is playing against the Giants, pick up that starting pitcher. They can't hit anybody, bro. So now it is so reminiscent thus far of last year's lineup when nobody was in the lineup last year. Now you got, you got Lee and you got Sol, and it's the same freaking results. But I do have to say this, bro. Take away the Dodgers series, they're playing 500 ball. And they have played out of the 6 series, 4 out of the 6 were over 500 teams. And with all due respect, my God, the Nationals just took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, for crying out loud.
Right.
But I like the Nationals. I told you guys the Nationals and the Pirates were going to be teams that are young and they're going to start coming up. But you know what, Vince? I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you in the beginning this team's not going to hit well and you called me Debbie Downer, and I said I don't like this lineup. Too many guys, career batting averages under 243. That is Soler's batting average lifetime. Soler strikes out a ton. Conforto strikes out a ton. Chapman strikes out a ton. Estrada strikes out a ton. Yaz, if he's in there, oh, God forbid, but he strikes out a ton. They don't have contact hitters except Lee. Wade has actually improved himself to become a respectable hitter. I think the guys that can hit in their lineup are Flores and Wade and Lee. Conforto will come back to earth. Right now, Conforto will come back to his back of his baseball card. He'll hit 250-ish. If he stays in there and they leave him in there, he'll hit 25 home runs. He's a good player. I'm fine with Conforto. I don't like Nick Ahmed. He's got a great glove. You got good gloves on the left side in Chapman and Ahmed, but they're light hitters. And you got to have you can't have all defense and no offense. You got to have a little bit of both. And it's time to bring up Matos and Luciano and make Yaz and Ahmed defensive replacements when you're ahead after the 7th inning. Use them for what they're good at. Yaz is a great right fielder, and Ahmed is an excellent shortstop. But, oh, my goodness, just watching this lineup hit is so dang boring. I mean, are they going to get some hits now and then and score games where they get 5+ runs? Yes, every team does it. And the Giants will have games like that. And they'll have games where they get 8 runs and maybe a few where they get 10+. But for the most part, this looks like a team that's going to score about 3 runs a game. And you need at least 4 generally to win most games. Because Logan Webb's ERA is 3.43 lifetime. So count on when Webb's in the game, going to team's going to give up 3 runs, whether it's Webb and the bull, it's about 3 runs a game. So you're going to need 4 to win. And the Giants are getting, how many games do they get? 2, 1, 3. Yeah, they have their occasional burst where they get 8. We saw 11. It's going to happen. They're going to win those games, obviously. But too many games where they do not hit. And the problem is you need somebody in the lineup that's going to protect Soler. So Soler sees more fastballs and not sliders that he's constantly chasing out of the zone. I don't know. That's just my take. I mean, Soler last year had Arias. He had
Chisholm.
He had Berger the second half. He had a couple other guys. Marlins were a different team last year. Chapman's, to me, I don't care for Matt Chapman as a offensive player. I think he's going to strike out way too many times. He doesn't look at his career. His best RBI year for a guy with that much power, 91 runs, I think in 2019, was that the juice ball year?
2019 juice ball year.
Yeah. He averages right around 65, 70 RBIs because he strikes out too much with men on base. He doesn't get hits. That's where your RBIs come from. They don't always have to come from a 2-3 run homer. Right. Hits with men and runners in scoring position. What did he come up today with? Bases loaded and grounded out, right?
I think so.
Chop the little chopper to second base. Yeah, he did drive in a run late in the game.
You're bringing up a good point, Dan, because I think that was the issue with the team the last couple of years, is hits with runners in scoring position. They always seem to leave guys on the bases, and it's so damn frustrating. Vince, what do you think of the last 2 games? They got Lee batting in the 3-hole.
That's what I wanted to that's what I was just going to bring up to you guys next. First of all, like, man, I gotta say this. I spoke to my buddy Russ Stanley, with the Giants, the guy with the tickets. I told you guys, and he's promising me I have nothing to worry about, bro, because Melvin's in charge. I got nothing to worry about. And, bro, I do have to say this. And I can't say that I disagree with him. Bro, a lot of people belly aching about Ahmed and Slater and Yastrzemski. Bro, these guys are all pros, and these guys have all been around for a while. And I really do believe Melvin, bro, he's got to give them the benefit of the doubt. Right. I don't see him making any rational decisions on any of these guys before May 1st. I just don't. Guys, we're forgetting. I'm forgetting. Bro, we're 20 games into the season. We're not even 3 weeks into the season. Right. He's got to give these guys the benefit of the doubt. Come May 1st, if Yastrzemski, if those numbers are still intact and they're still playing the way they do, I have the confidence in Melville that those hard decisions are going to be made. There's no question in my mind. But that's what I want to throw out there to you guys. Something's wrong with the lineup. Mm-hmm. The lineup, one of the things I'm noticing is I don't think the lineup is properly structured to its, capability at this point. I think Thyro should be up in the lineup. I think he should be batting second. He batted second for a lot last year. He had a great year. I think they need to move him up in the lineup. I mean, that's one thing I noticed. And it's funny too, man, because Melvin said all spring training that Lee was the leadoff batter, 162 games. Here we are 20 games in, and he's batting third. And I don't really have a problem with that either. But I don't know, Dan and Eric, the lineup just appears to be discombobulated a little bit for me.
Yes, correct. Dan,
well, one of the reasons they're batting Lee third is because of the lefty, and they're trying to get Slater up and get. That's the one thing you can resolve right now. Just bring up Matos and DFA Slater. say, Austin, it's been a nice 8-9 years. It's 8 years he's been with the club. Thanks for your service. We're moving on to a younger team. I don't get the position of Austin Slater on this team. I really don't. He's a pinch hitter, comes in, pinch hits, but you're starting him against lefties now. Yaz has gotten off to such an awful start, and I said this would happen. What did I say, Eric? 30 days in, the platoon for Yaz
is going to be back.
It's not even 20 games in, and they're already sitting Yaz against lefties. So, I just don't see. And then we're going to go righty. We're going to bring Slater in. How about Matos, the guy that bulked up, that has power, that's young, that needs to play? How about just stick him in right field, or left field? I mean, one of the two's got to go. One of the corners has got to go to make room for
Matos or even Ramos. Ramos, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to have Ramos up there. I mean, much rather see Wade out in right field at this point than Yaz, if they're going to not bring up any of the young guys.
But do you think Lee needs to be back in that leadoff spot then?
Yeah, make him the leadoff.
I liked Estrada in that 2-hole last year. He did well, and I don't see any. I don't know why they changed that.
And I don't want Flores. I like Flores.
I don't want Flores.
I like his bat, but he's put him in the second spot. It's just
automatic
rally. It's a double play if the ball's anywhere on the ground. Anywhere on the ground. I don't care if it's deep in the hole at shortstop. If they fire to second and get the guy, they're still going to get Flores. He is slow as molasses.
I'll tell you one thing though, I didn't like that Melvin did, and this I don't agree with this with managers. And of course, man, we could be armchair quarterbacks and whatnot, but man, this was the thing. You guys remember a couple of games back when they put Fitzgerald in the lineup and he single-handedly won that game. You know the game that I'm talking.
I know you're talking about.
Single-handedly, bro. The next game he's on the bench. When a guy has a game like that, keep him in the lineup, bro.
Yes.
I don't know. Why are you going to sit a guy like that on the bench? He won you the game single-handed. Bro, I can't believe they didn't have a stolen base for the first 15, 16 games, whatever it was. He stole 3 bases. He was the spark plug. He single-handedly won the game. Why are you sitting him down the next game?
It doesn't make sense. And again, that reminds me of last year. When a guy's hot, Flores, remember after the All-Star break, they sit him, when he's hot, and you're like, come on, this is it brings back those memories from last year. And it's like, what is going on here? This guy he's a force out there. Now, granted, he has a little bit of defensive miscues, but man, you can't deny that his bat's actually playing at a pretty decent level here at the MLB level. And I'd say, play him, find a position for him to play and play him.
Hey, Dan, do you know while we're doing this show, some of the teams in our league are up to 40 transactions? Just by us during this show, they're up to 40 transactions now, Dan, probably.
No.
No. It might be.
Bro, I wake up every morning and I see 32, 33, and I'm like, these poor slobs don't have a clue. They don't have a clue, bro. They're going to be out of transactions May 15th, Dan, and then they're going to say nobody told them. But Dan, let me ask you, why when a guy has a game like that, is he not automatically in the starting lineup the next day?
I don't understand it, Vince. I put out I can't put it up here, but I put out in the Kruk and Kipe Facebook group with the Giants. I was trying to pull it up here, but I wasn't able to. This is what I said. Tyler Fitzgerald, this is a few days ago. I got grief from all these knucklehead Giants fans that don't know anything about baseball. I said, Tyler Fitzgerald needs to play. Before anyone says, where does he play and who should get benched, the answer is nobody has to lose their job. Although Yaz should, and as I've said so for 2 years, but forget about Yaz for now. Fitz is a Swiss Army knife and can play all over the diamond, like Chris Taylor did with the Dodgers when he was, at his best. He can play all three outfield positions, third base, shortstop, and second base. The Giants need to learn to think outside the box and play Fitz 5 to 6 days a week, moving around the diamond and giving one player a day off a week, especially guys who are ice cold. Maybe he plays 2 or 3 days a week at one position because that guy is struggling. Giants need to see if Fitz can play virtually every day at this level, because if he can, he makes them better as he makes things happen with his speed. The Giants severely lack athleticism with their most athletic players in Sacramento. Stop playing older, aging vets because they're good on defense, but can't be productive hitters. Let's see what Fitzgerald can do if given the opportunity. And guys are going, oh, one game makes him a superstar.
What about the top three is Fitzgerald, Estrada, and Lee? What about those two? And those top three, all of those guys can get on base. All of those guys make contact. All of those guys have speed. But like I said, man, I'm thrilled to death Melvin is there. I don't know why you bench a guy after a game like that.
Yeah, there's no excuse for doing that.
He did play the last 2 games. He played Tuesday at second base and then today in left field.
Yeah.
I hope they just find a spot for him. Move him around.
I mean, the game you're talking about, he had 3 hits, 2 runs scored, 2 stolen bases.
Tomorrow they're going up against Ryan Nelson, Arizona. And then Friday and Saturday they're facing Jordan Montgomery, and then they got Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly. So Montgomery makes his debut Friday.
Yeah.
Let's see what some of these guys can do. You got to have sometimes if you're scoring 1 or 2 runs a game, you need a guy on base who can create runs.
Right. Yep.
Because your bats aren't doing it. So let your legs do it. He can steal second and he can steal third. And you know what? I've seen baseball many times. When a guy steals second, and in this era where you only have 2 throws to pick off a guy, now they're a little worried. And how many times have you seen guys are trying to hurry their throw, get a guy out, and the ball goes down the left field line because he's still in third, walks home. That's a run created by speed.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyler Fitzgerald can do that. Is he going to be an all-star? No, I doubt it. But the Giants don't have these. I don't see an all-star on the Giants position players anywhere, period. Not one guy would make the all-star team when all-star voting comes around.
Not position player.
Not position. You're going to have possibly Hicks and Webb, and maybe, if they keep it up, maybe Duvall, if they start winning and get him in the games. This is his 5th appearance today.
Yeah.
That tells you that there's no save opportunities aren't there. What about Soler? Is he a notorious slow guy or slow to start the season, or is he just?
Well, he's definitely, bro, like a lot of home run hitters. He's streaky, bro.
Yeah,
he's definitely streaky, and he's not gotten into one of those streaks yet, but he definitely is a streaky home run hitter.
Yeah. And this comment right here, D-Shot, I totally disagree. But in this team, you don't have a lot. I would put Chapman on a good – if Chapman was on the Dodgers, he'd bat 7th or 8th. That's where he would bat. If he was playing third base for the Dodgers. The Giants, Chapman is more of a 7 hitter.
Bro, who's the best? Who's the best hitter on the team? Who's always been the best hitter on the team?
Probably Flores.
So go Fitzgerald, Thyro, Lee, Flores. Put Flores in the cleanup spot.
He gives you a damn good at bat.
He absolutely does, bro.
Yeah, I would rather see, stick Wade with this present roster. if you're not bringing up the young guys, put Wade in right field, put Flores at first base, put Lee in center, and who cares if you got 3 left-handed batters in the outfield? You're facing right-handed pitchers 70% of the time. I mean, we heard it the other night with, I've been saying that for forever. And then Anthony Villa the other night told us the same thing. 70% of big league pitchers are right-handed. And that's just baseball. There's just not as many lefties. So, you know what? And then, you
got me thinking with that one. So you would have, who would you have lead off? You said Fitzgerald. You would have lead off.
Yeah,
Fitzgerald, and then
Estrada, Lee,
Flores, and then behind him could be Conforto, and then Soler.
Guys, here's one thing about Conforto, Dan. This is where I disagree with you a little bit. I'll tell you why. Bro, we saw what happened in free agency this year. Conforto knows, bro, if he doesn't have an all-star caliber year, he's out of baseball.
Right.
I mean, literally, like the dude knows when you see like what Tommy Pham had to settle for and Brandon Belt didn't get signed. Conforto knows he doesn't put up all-star numbers. His career is over.
That's a good point.
That's why I believe you're going to see this from him for the entire year. Bro, I think free agency this year and the number of players that did not get contracts, I think that's going to wake a lot of people up. And I think Conforto knows, man, if I do not have an all-star caliber year, I may be out of baseball after this year.
Yeah, and this is why I would have never given the contract to Chapman. You gave him 3 opt-outs or 2. So basically, he's got 3 one-year contracts, and he's in control. So if he sucks, he's not going to touch that market. He's going to come right back, and you're going to have a declining, aging veteran whose batting skills have been eroding for years, and you're going to block an up-and-coming Casey Schmidt. I'm hoping Chapman he's got to have a good year based on just to have him move on. And because if he has a horrible year, Giants, I'm telling you, they're not going anywhere. It doesn't matter what they do. If he continues to struggle, which I believe he will. What is he hitting right now? About 200? Maybe a little over. He got a hit today, right? He gets one. He got the hit to drive in the third run.
He's driving in some runs.
I mean, he goes 1 for 4, and his batting average goes up because, Chapman is hitting 208. All right, he's going to raise his average, and he's going to hit you about 225 this year. He's going to be right in that range. It wouldn't shock me to see him. I think his peak is going to be about 235. That's his ceiling, and his floor is 200.
And I think so, really.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get up to 240. That's what
No, I don't. Let me show you something. The guy has had many years where he's not hit well. Let me just.
Yeah, he has. He has.
I'll pull it up right here and show you what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at his year 221.
21, 22.
210, 229, 240. And the year before, forget 2020. I don't even like counting stuff.
I don't even count 2020. Yeah.
His best years were 18 and 19. And then, but look at the strikeouts. 202 that year in 21. He is, I'm just not the biggest Matt Chapman. I love his glove.
I gotta tell you, Matt. I mean, Dan, I'm not having an issue with 4 homers and 11 ribbies, 18 games in.
he did this last year. He hit 5 homers in April, and then he
was hurt too, though.
Yeah, he did get hurt. So we'll see what he does in May. That's going to be interesting. We'll see.
I think also too, man. What is real? This is what probably pisses me off more than anything. I was telling Eric the other day. Bro, we've got 2 losses thanks to Scott Boras, who thought Snell was going to get $300 million. So we literally have 2 losses because Snell has thrown 2 exhibition games.
Correct.
Which really, I mean, again, bro, the guy starts the season with the rest of the team in spring training. Those 2 losses may be 2 wins, and now we got a whole other different story now. But the guy, here we are. April 17th, he's still trying to feel his way through. And yeah, bro, that's great. But meanwhile, you're 0-2 and your ERA is over 10. That to me is such a freaking damper that, as Giant fans, we had to pay the price because Scott Boras was holding out for money that Snell was never going to get to begin with.
Yeah, and it's funny. Did you see Montgomery dropped Boras?
Yeah, I did.
He dropped him as his agent. So it's telling you there's players out there that are probably not happy because it's going to be interesting to see how Montgomery. Then again, Arizona did kind of slow roll Montgomery into the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
How do you think Montgomery's going to do? You think, Dan? Think he's going to go out there and deal? He's a good lefty. You're muted, Dan.
Friday night, we'll see. I mean, he has had 2 minor league starts. That's it. So these guys getting abbreviated, but they were live games. The difference between Montgomery's pitching and Snell was throwing to simulated games. Montgomery's thrown 7 innings. He's probably on a pitch count. My guess is going to be about 65, 70 pitches is what he'll be able to go. And they'll get him up. They'll ramp him up. In 2 more starts, he'll be able to go 100 pitches.
Yeah, he probably will be. And Giants have a tough time against good lefties. I mean, look at those Miami guys. They did a pretty good job with the Giants lineup, even though they throw an whole variety.
They're going to probably try and get 5 innings out of Montgomery.
Probably, right?
Yeah. I mean, that would be
one thing the Giants do though, is they go deep in accounts. That's one thing they do. They kind of get starting pitchers to throw a lot of pitches, but they just can never capitalize. That's the issue. So it's going to be interesting. The starting pitching, I'll tell you that one thing, we'll segue into that is the starting pitching has been great. Granted, Webb had a kind of a stinker in, what was it, LA, but for the most part, man, the starting
pitching is very good. I've said, if the Giants somehow get into the playoffs, look out. They'll be dangerous because pitching and defense wins in the playoffs at timely hits. You got to have a little bit more. I mean, you definitely need defense all year long, but you got to have some hitting. I think
if Hicks keeps it up, do you think they go to a 6-man rotation?
That wouldn't shock me.
Because Hicks is doing actually pretty good. I'm surprised. I really am. Because
if you go to a 6-man, that actually allows guys to have a little more rest,
right?
And I don't know.
And then he'd be deadly if they get into the playoffs.
I don't know if you want to shorten. I don't know if you want to. When you go to 6, you lose a start or 2 for the year from Webb and Snell, and I don't know if you want those guys. I mean, Snell's already missed basically 2 starts, so he's instead of 32, he's down to 30.
Good point. I don't know. It's going to be interesting when some of these guys, especially like Cobb. I don't know what's going on with Cobb.
I think he's going to go. My guess is you're going to, in about 1 to 2 weeks, you're going to hear. Within 2 weeks, you're going to hear Cobb was put on the 60-day retroactive to opening day, which will be April or March 28th, meaning he'll be eligible to come off the 60-day and be at the end of May. I mean, you're sitting here April 17th. That's a little over, say 6 weeks. Do you really want to push him? What did he say? He had a little elbow soreness recently?
Elbow soreness.
Yeah, probably because his hip surgery. He's probably compensating with the hip, the way he was landing, or he was trying to get back too soon. And, he's 34 35-ish, coming off hip surgery. What are you trying to get the guy? I mean, they acted like they were trying to get him back this month.
Yeah,
You
like,
know,
like
earlier.
almost before opening day.
Yeah, they even thought they might carry him on the roster. Alex Pavlovic pointed out there's a possibility that he makes the opening day roster. Well, he was pushing himself. And, you know, I just put him on the 60, find another spot for somebody much needed that isn't on your roster. Who's not on the roster that's a non-roster who's in AAA right now? Anybody that stands out?
AAA?
Because that's where you're going to – it's either that or it's coming from the outside. You know, the one thing that's been interesting is Farhan's been relatively quiet this year. With
wire.
Yeah, by now he's brought in 5. He's like Jung Hoo in the fantasy league. He's Jung Hoo, 33 moves, and oh my goodness, I mean, you got guys in the fantasy league that are platooning, trying to get like. It's a race to the top in the first 2 weeks of the season. They're trying to get up in the top position. You don't see horses generally go to the front and stay there. They kind of pace themselves.
So what do you think of the starting lineup, Vince? You think you liking them?
Who?
Rotation? You like the rotation?
Oh yeah, I like the rotation, man. Yeah, I really do. I think win today, and I mean win's been a great surprise. The bullpen though, man, bro, walking the 8 and 9 batters. Oh, come on,
that
bro.
one hurts.
That cannot happen.
Was that yesterday or
yesterday?
Yesterday, man. That was the game. I feel, man. I don't feel the bullpen is set yet, man. I still feel they're feeling their way around the bullpen spot. I know Jackson's, about to get a rehab start soon. So I think adding him and his experience is going to help them. But man, the bullpen just seems to me like it's just been so up and down at times. I
don't like the Roger brothers. Every time they come in, I'm always a little bit.
Yeah,
that Miller kid, he's kind of opening my eyes. I like what he's doing. He throws hard from the left, and he's got a nice. I don't know, is that a curve or a slider? But it's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Not too impressed with Avila, and like you said, with Walker last year though was really good. Brebbia, that was a guy that I liked last year too.
Yeah.
I wish they kind of brought him back. I thought they would have been able to bring him back somewhat on the cheap.
Even bro, I thought Alexander was great for them, man. And
he was another one.
I was surprised they let him go so easily.
Yeah, I know, and he did really well. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that bullpen is still kind of in flux. I mean, yeah, we understand Doval. He's the guy at the back end, but
bro, if we can get to May 1st at 500,
yes,
I think that's a win. I really think that is a win. And again, man, like I said, bro, I can't blame Melvin for giving these veterans the benefit of the doubt. I can't blame him, bro. I think that's the right thing to do. But it's like, man, when we're watching Yaz and Slater, every game, I mean, bro, do you really think between April 17th and April 30th they're going to start hitting? You can just see it, man. It's just not there,
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then we've kind of seen this the last couple of seasons. It's like, are they going to really be? I mean, can the young guys who come up, can they do any worse? You really can't.
Yeah,
the bar is
exactly.
Low.
I did predict after 30 games, which will take us through the end of April.
This Arizona series is going to be huge.
Let me look at the schedule here real quick here and see if it was 30 games, because I have them at 12 after the Boston. They're what? What are they now? 8-11?
8-11, I think. Yeah.
All right. So 8-11. So that's 19 games. They have 4 with Arizona, 3 with the Mets. That's 7. 3 with the Pirates, 10. 11 more games. So that's 30. Yeah. I have them 12. I said this at the beginning of the season when I looked at the schedule. I said it'd be about 12 and 18. So that's because I think this 10-game homestand.
Who is it? Arizona, Mets, and who else?
Pittsburgh,
and then they go to Boston. I think on this homestand they go 4 and 6.
I think they're going to go 6 and 4.
Ooh, okay.
I think they're going to split with Arizona, and I think they're going to take 2 out of 3 from the Mets.
I think they could take 2 out of 3 from the Mets. The Arizona, that's going to be a key.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd love it. A split would be actually nice. I agree. I think a split would be nice.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I take that back. I have them going. Let's see. They're 7.
8
they're
and
8.
11.
8 and 11.
So, yeah, I think they go 4 and 6, and they get to 12. And
so, how do you think
17.
the series? How do you think those 3 games? How do you think about the next 3 series?
I think they lose 3 of 4 to Arizona. I think they
might be able to rough up. I don't know.
I think they win 2 against the Mets.
Yeah.
And that is their 3 wins. And I think they win 1 of 3 against Pittsburgh.
Really? 1 of 3 against Pittsburgh.
I don't know about that. I think they can go 6 and 4 on this homestand. And if they do
this
that
homestand, what they really have the capability of doing, if they started hitting, they could go 7 and 3. But I don't see it. I see Arizona coming in, running a lot.
Yeah, Arizona does that.
And the Giants.
See, what I wanted to see on this road trip, I wanted to see those bats come alive a little bit. And right now, it's still kind of, you don't know what you're getting day to day.
They got to win tomorrow because they got Webb going, their ace, against the D-backs' 5th starter.
Yeah, they should be able to beat Nelson. Nelson's kind of garbage.
But
Montgomery, they may, because it's his first start, they may be able to get to him, which would be nice because then when it comes to Gallen and Kelly, at least you got the first 2 games.
Who's matching up against Montgomery?
It'll be Snell.
Yeah, see.
You think those 2 games were enough?
Against Arizona? I don't know, man.
I know. I went to the Arizona game today against the Cubs. I was in the Cubs section for sure. There was a lot of Cub fans there today.
Who won that series?
The Cubs, 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
See, nobody in the West, not even the Dodgers, bro. Nobody in the West is killing it right now.
No, they're not.
No.
You know, I mean, bro, the Giants are what, 2 behind the Dodgers in the loss column?
Something like that.
Ooh, see,
it's a long season.
I know. I'm just saying, bro. It just seems like gloom and doom, but they got 2 more losses than the Dodgers.
Hey, it's the crazy thing is the Giants are not playing good baseball, and they're not that far out of it in the division. But we know the division. We saw the division last year. They were in first place was it June? They caught the Dodgers.
I think it was in June last year.
Yeah, they swept. Yeah, so, and then we said, not too short after that, we said the Dodgers would win the division. I came on here and said they'll win it by 10 games, and Ned kind of chuckled and said 15 plus.
Yeah, I remember.
And he was right. So I think the Dodgers win this division by at least 10 games.
See, the Giants, they got to fix that run differential. See, they're not. That's the offense right there. You got to put up those runs, man.
They're minus 12.
Minus 12 right now.
You also got to look though, bro. When you look at this, bro, look at how many home games the Giants have compared to everybody else.
Mm.
I
They
mean,
have 6.
Yeah.
Oh, same with the
I mean,
Rockies.
Dodgers have 14. San Diego's got 11. Arizona's got 13.
Well, yeah,
So,
this next 10-game homestand is going to straighten that out.
yeah, exactly.
So they're 3-3. They do need to go at least 6-4.
Yeah.
I kind of think 4-6, maybe 5-5, but we'll see. The Mets are starting to play a little better. Let's look at the Mets record now.
I think
Scroll that up.
I think they're two
Yep.
games over now. I think they're 10-8, maybe.
Oh, 10-8.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, look at that. They started off horrible.
Oh, 0-5, I think.
Yeah. So, and then look at the Central. Nobody's below 500, I think. At least that was when I looked earlier. Oh,
Yeah,
St.
St.
Louis
Louis.
is now. They lost today.
I guess they did. Yeah. Who were they playing? The A's, right?
Yeah, they lost to the A's 6-3
Woo.
today.
Yeah. So Miller time. Did he get another save?
Yeah, he did.
No kidding. And look at that. They're 8-11. Same record as the Giants.
Wow, the A's are 8-11. That's not bad, bro.
Hey,
I didn't realize that.
I put a tweet out
Wow.
last weekend, and my my thing was that the I didn't say, my wording was very careful. I didn't say the A's would be better than the Giants. I said I think they're going to be more they quite possibly could be more entertaining than the Giants. When you have these young players like Geloff and then when Miller comes in, it's I know there's only about 800 people there or whatever, but it's exciting to watch a guy throw 103 miles an hour and strike out the side in the ninth.
Yeah.
Look what Kansas City's doing. Plus 40 in the run differential. Oh my goodness. Well, their rotation has actually been pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, well, what did they do in the offseason? They went and signed Waka and Lugo and somebody else.
What's his name? That used to be Junis, right? Didn't they get Junis?
Yeah,
No, Junis went to Baltimore or Milwaukee.
Who was their third? They had a third guy, I thought.
There was someone else they got, and I can't remember.
And I know they signed a couple of guys for the in the field, but they went. What Kansas City did is they said, "Okay, we're going to go get some of these veterans that are valuable players at the trade deadline if we're not in it, and we'll move them for assets for the future. But if they happen to perform and our young guys perform, maybe we're in the race." Cleveland, on the other hand, look at them. Stephen Vogt, rookie manager, who I thought would have been a great choice for the Giants. I mean, I'm fine with Melvin. Melvin's really good manager, but
he's proven, of course.
Yeah, but you get these young guys sometimes that are first time and that are relatable. I mean, they're not like Gabe Kapler, who's just, oh my goodness. Gabe Kapler, I don't even know what to say, but it's just crazy how uptight that club looked last year under him. And that's why when San Diego was 8 games out and I could see the stuff falling apart, I said the Giants will finish below the Padres. The Padres, because I looked at the schedule and saw the Giants had like 8 or 10 games left with the Padres. And, we'll see. But I do like Bob Melvin. I like the fact that he doesn't take any crap. You could see when things don't go well, he's not just, he's a little pissed off. And players need to feel that, like, oh crap, I better get my butt moving or I may be sent packing.
Hey Vince, what do you think about Joey Bart in his job in Pittsburgh? I know he got hit in the head.
Oh dang! I hope he did. He must have got a concussion.
Oh, I didn't see that. He got hit in the head today.
He was
a couple days ago.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
He was catching a bullpen, and there was a batting practice home run. And while he's catching the bullpen, he gets hit in the head.
No way! Yeah. Oh my god!
And the guy, he's been doing well in Pittsburgh.
Bro, Bailey's been doing well.
He's holding his own.
Yeah,
I mean, he threw it. He had a nice strike today. Chisholm. He threw out.
He got Chisholm.
Oh, he's doing good with the bat too.
Yeah, he is. Right now, he is.
He'll be a 235, 240 hitter when it settles.
Right now, he's doing well. But yes.
But I'm okay with Bailey hitting 240 if he can play great defense. But
maybe they're working on his throws because, in their first few games, man, those balls are going all over the place.
I noticed today's throw was slightly a little bit more
over the top
instead of this slinging from the side. And when he slings it to the side, he gets it off quicker, but it also the ball tends to
tail.
Yeah. So what do we got here in the chat? We got anything? Yeah, they finally benched Yaz.
So we'd be happy. We're happy with a 6-4 homestand.
I'll be happy with the 6-4.
I'll be happy.
I would be happy with the 6-4.
Oh, 6-4 would be a great homestand because then they're one game under 500.
And that's where you want to be. And that's what I've been saying for the month of April. You want to be at or very close to 500.
And then what's that next road trip? Boston, who else?
Let me see. I'll bring it up.
Probably Baltimore, the Yankees.
Boston, Philadelphia, Colorado.
And Colorado, right?
Yeah. They got 3 in Boston, 4 in Philly, 3 in Colorado. That's a potential 3-7 trip because but their pitching is going to keep them in games.
Yeah.
Their pitching is going to keep them in games. They just need more spark plugs. This team has the potential to be an excellent team. Imagine if you had Luciano and Matos up, because the idea, and Dave from the San Francisco Chronicle put an article out today. Dave Tobner,
SF Gate.
SF Gate, isn't that part of the Chronicle?
I don't know if it's. I don't know if they are, to be honest with you.
Anyway, he said the whole idea originally was the Giants were supposed to have this young infusion of players and spend money to add around them. And he says, so they did the spending this year. They went out and spent.
They did.
So now let's see what Luciano and Matos can do with this group. It's not all young guys. You got to infuse the young guys with the veterans. You can't have all aging vets and you can't have all rookies, because that's a recipe for a way under 500 club. Anytime you get aging vets, imagine if you just had some of the guys they had this year and didn't have Soler and didn't have Snell and didn't have Lee, and they just had what they had last year. And even with Chapman added, that's a 75-win team at best. Now, if you go with all the young guys, Schmidt, Ramos, Luciano, Meckler, I mentioned Ramos, I think, Matos, all those guys, they're going to struggle, but they're going to get better and they'll be good for the future. Now you have a situation where you have some veterans. You have Soler, you have Conforto, you have Chapman, who's there at defense, and you have Lee, who looks like a pretty good player. But if you add Luciano and Matos to this mix, now you've got some power, you've got some speed and athleticism, and you create a whole different feel for the team. I want to see it. And you know what?
I think the fans would love to see. They love to see the young guys.
Let's see it for 50 games.
Look at the amount of excitement that Baltimore has when they got all those young guys up there playing.
Let me ask you this though, guys. I mean, you talk about Baltimore and the young guys, they brought up, but you also look at what those young guys were doing out at AAA. Does it not bother anybody that Matos is batting 220?
That's a little bit concerning.
A little bit.
I like Ramos. So Ramos is he's batting like almost 350.
I'll tell you what I see.
Ramos is at 333, 4 homers, 13 ribbies. Luciano is at 328.
Mm-hmm.
But, Matos is at 220.
Here's what I say about Matos. And I'm pretty good at reading guys' countenances. And I've met Luis, and he did all they asked him to do this offseason. Went out and bulked up. They said, bulk up. You're going to need to bulk up if you want to be able to stay in the big leagues. He did that. He had not a fantastic spring, but a very solid spring. Probably the best of the outfielders. He looked good. He led the team with home runs, 4. And then they cut him, basically. You didn't make the team. You're cut. Okay. You're on the taxi squad. That's what AAA is. You're on the taxi squad. I think he's a young kid. I think he got dejected. I think he felt like, dang, I don't know what I got to do to make this club. And if your confidence goes and you lose, you feel like you lost the confidence of the leadership. You just kind of, some kids have a hard time just, I'll prove you wrong. So I think it's more
mental than it is physical.
Yeah, ability. It's mental. He's fine physically. The kid, what you need to do with Matos, if you want to give the guy the utmost confidence, is you call him up and you say, don't worry about anything, kid. You're our everyday right fielder, at least for the next 2 months. Just go out and play. You have a bad day and go 0 for 4. You go 0 for 12, 3 games, you're going to be out there. And let's see what he can do. Because these guys have been, the whole system pisses me off. They've done it to every one of their guys. They've done it to Joey Bart. They've done it to Elliot Ramos. They do it to everyone under Farhan. What did Sabes do? He brought up Posey. He brought up Panda. He brought up Crawford. He brought up Panic. Brought up Belt. Those guys played, and they worked through it, and they won 3 freaking championships. And Farhan, because of all of his freaking analytics and looking at the pie charts, he just stinking brings them up for a series because they're facing 2 lefties. I saw it 2 years ago. I was there at opening day. He wasn't in the roster. The next 2 games, they were playing Miami. They were facing lefties, and they bring up Ramos, and everybody's all excited. Is this it? Ramos is here. Is this the moment we've been waiting for? Didn't think it would happen so soon, but Elliot Ramos has arrived, and we're all excited. And I'm pumped up, and he gets a hit. He gets first 2 at bats. He gets hits.
Solid contact too, over 100 miles an hour. Yeah.
And then he doesn't do well the next game or the rest of the game. The next game's done. And we find out it was nothing about Elliot Ramos's arrive. It was all about the matchups.
The platoon advantage.
And what a clown Farhan is. You can't tell me that doesn't mess with these guys.
Yeah.
They're going up and
down.
The
philosophy
is
definitely not.
It's like, what the heck? Yeah. What do I got to do to play? And they did it to Luciano last year. Exactly, Deesh. I see your comment there. Luciano comes up, first game. Everybody's pumped. Marco, the savior's here.
And they pinch hit for him in his last at bat.
They pinch hit for him in the 7th inning when the Giants were ahead. They brought in, was it Jock? Pete?
They brought in Jock.
I mean, come on. You're telling your kids you're here, but you're not ready.
And what it's been with Farhan his entire career, if you have options, he's using them.
Yes.
But they've changed the rule though in the last couple of years, right? Did it start last year where you only got 5 options or something like that a year? Something like that? There's some kind of a rule like that out there. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
It's ridiculous.
We're saying that, right, Dan? We think that it's probably going to be the end of April before we start seeing anything as far as Matos.
Early May after the Boston series. Do you think Yeah, that unless somebody gets hurt, which
Yeah.
and look at this, guys. The Giants, as bad as they are right now, right? Have played 8-11. They don't have any injuries to their position players.
No.
Wait till those start coming.
Mm.
Wait till those come, because they will come. Every team has them. And the Giants, but the good thing for the Giants is they have better depth in Sacramento than they have on the major league squad.
Mm.
Their best players are Ramos, Luciano, and Matos. And
Wisely's
you know what?
actually doing well down there.
Who is?
Wisely? I think he's batting like over 300.
Wisely, he's okay, but Schmidt's actually coming around.
He's coming around.
So I just think that the Giants should play their young guys.
Here's a question. I'm kind of putting the cart ahead of the horse a little bit.
At least two of them right now. At least two.
When it comes time for the trade deadline, the last 2 years, Farhan has missed, swung and missed during the trade deadline.
Bro, can I set somebody straight in this chat room?
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, Michael O'Brien, kiss my ass. Vince Russo was a part of the awful storyline with DDP Canyon and Bam Bam Bigelow. No, bro, I wasn't even working there at the time, bro. So my big fat Italian ass, Michael, you can kiss that in Macy's window, okay, bro?
There we go.
Know your history, bro. Know your history before you start sitting there saying I was a part of things that I wasn't a part of, bro. All right.
Come on, guys.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. No worries. No worries.
Hey, you know what? It's funny. I mean, we get people in the chat on different shows. They take shots at the guys. I had to take a shot last night. I lost my dog last week, right?
Oh, that's the worst
thing, and it was terrible.
Worst thing, bro.
She was only 6, and I was. And this guy doesn't like me. He's been banned from this show. And he goes on Larry Krueger's show I'm on last night, and he has the nerve to write in the chat, "This clown looks lost without his dog."
Oh, God.
Exactly. People are just
come on. So man. Mario, if you're out there under some other pseudonym, that's as low as class as you can get, man.
Yeah.
If you don't like me, that's fine. Whatever. I can take it. But don't, shoot somebody who lose their dog. I mean, you're bringing bad karma on yourself, when you say talk like
Dan, how can nobody like you, bro? You're a very likable young man. How can nobody like you, Dan? And you're Italian. And you're Italian, bro. To boot, man. Like, seriously, bro.
Thank you, Vince.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, exactly. Valram, Mario the dirtbag. Yeah. So some of these guys, yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they got to come on here, and just because you have a voice in a chat doesn't mean you have to say everything, Gosh.
Exactly. But I was going to get back to that trade. You think Farhan has it in him to make a big trade? If they're in it, he's going to have to, right? There's no way he can do it.
Bro. Coming off of last year.
Right.
I mean, there's bro, he does that
again. That was
inexcusable
by just going out there and getting AJ Pollock.
AJ Pollock. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was brutal.
We had a 2-part trade. Remember that, Dan? We had a 2-part trade deadline show. And all we were able to put out there was
I thought he teased everybody and says there's, we're going to be aggressive. And
right.
Come up, right. And it's like, wow. This year, I mean, the Giants have to be right. I mean, they can't be out of it at the trade deadline. Everybody's with the third wild card. Everybody's in it till August.
True. Yeah. That is true.
I mean, serious. If you're within 3 or 4 games of the wild card at the trade deadline, you're in it.
Yep.
And they always seem to make horrible decisions at the trade deadline, bro.
They do. Whether it's not selling or whether it's not buying.
Remember, bro, holding on to Bumgarner.
Yeah, holding on to Bumgarner.
All because they started winning before the trade deadline. They went on a winning streak.
I think the only good move he did was in 21 when he got Chris Bryant. That made sense.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good move.
That
yeah.
was a good
You know,
move.
he actually has had some decent moves. He somehow got Mauricio Dubon, but then he gave up on him. And he also got Estrada. He picked up Estrada. He's picked up Wade. Those are all good moves on Farhan's part. He's picking up Rodon was a great move, but then he didn't get rid of him. I'm like, dude, you're not going to the wild card. And if Rodon keeps pitching and he gets hurt, you're liable to get stuck with him. He lucked out on that so much because look at how quick Rodon got hurt last year.
Yeah, he did.
With the Yankees. Didn't he get hurt in spring training last year? And he missed. Yeah.
He missed almost the whole damn year.
Yeah. So imagine if he did that in September when the Giants were out of it and he's throwing Rodon. See, that was dumb. I would have, you know how I would have handled that? I would have went right to his agent when it's September 10th and we're out of the race. I go up to him and I said, look, we want Carlos back. Here's the deal.
Boris wasn't going to do that.
This is what I'm doing as GM.
Right.
I'm going to Boris, say, here's the deal. We're protecting our asses. You sign this. Here's the deal. We'll work out a deal. Otherwise, Carlos isn't pitching the rest of the year. We're not taking the risk of him blowing his arm out, and we're stuck with him.
For another. Exactly.
But I don't know if you can do that with the CBA. Maybe there's a rule that says you can't. But if there's not, that's what I'm doing.
Los says, yo, Vince, Sparks Steakhouse Manhattan is gold. Gangster spot. Loved it, bro.
Go for a nice steak right now.
Nice. And then I think our buddy Senior Mista, he just got home, says, what's up, fellas? Just got home from softball game I played about as well as Smells Bells fantasy team. He's just kidding. What's up, Russo?
What's going on, man?
Smell. You want to take a shot at him? You took a shot at him early.
He's the commish.
Oh, he's all commish?
Yes, he's your commish.
Oh, bro, listen, I just hope, man. I just hope. Listen, I when you got hot at me the first time, it's Kelly, right?
Yeah, that's Kelly.
Got hot at me the first time. I kept my mouth shut. I'm not in here to ruffle any feathers, but I do know my way around fantasy baseball. And I do hope you know that everything I said, Eric, did not everything I say to you at the beginning of the year, has that not come to fruition?
Yeah, it has come to fruition. It has.
Fantasy baseball, unlike football, which is 100% luck, fantasy baseball is skill. You have to manage a team for 162 games. And when you handcuff your managers to create an even playing field, bro, why do you want to create an even playing field? Some managers are going to be better than other managers. I mean, why this even playing field? And yeah, bro, whatever. I'm doing the best I can under the rules. I've only got 13 moves so far.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Wants more moves, or you got to increase the bench in the IL.
We definitely. We should increase the bench at the All-Star break.
Oh, yeah.
By like 3?
Yeah, that's fine. We should increase the bench at the
All-Star break. That'd be interesting. We maybe put that to a vote, right?
Because like I said, man, when you get to the end of the year, you're going to be minus at every single position.
Wow.
Well, where is that? Tavernetti Italian. Oh, okay, bro. I'll try that out. Thank you, Losty.
Nice. There we go.
Tavernetti Italian. Ooh. I need a good dish of lasagna somewhere.
But yeah, I like that idea. Remember you mentioned it to me. I forgot all about that at the All-Star break. Yeah, let's bump it up. Make it for the final push, getting towards the end of the season. Yeah, that makes sense.
We got some Bailey slander going on in the chat, and Tyler says, I will not tolerate the Bailey slander. Wow. He will
Who's-
not tolerate it.
Where
I
was
think
the
it's
slander?
is it D-Shot? Who is it?
Michael, you're still here. You're not banned.
Dr. Dilly is looking for more moves. We should get more moves as well to make up for the added plays. No, the moves, that's it. The moves, we're stuck with the moves, guys. There's nothing
we're
we can
stuck
do
with the
about it.
moves.
We're stuck with that, bro. You can't change that.
Glenn says, I've never been in a fantasy league with this few bench spots.
See, that's what I'm talking about, bro. I told you, Eric. My rosters. I have 5 fantasy leagues I'm the commissioner of. Bro, you got 30 roster spots. 30, 30, bro.
Wow. So how many do you got? What is that? How many do you have starting every day?
Oh geez.
Well, how many bench do you have?
Probably about 8.
8
Yeah.
bench.
Oh yeah.
See, you could do that. See, like tomorrow, I got 2 guys playing. There's no one playing next tomorrow. It's like an off day almost.
Yeah,
for
the
whole
problem
damn
with
week.
some of the injuries,
Injuries.
and only 3. Like I looked at the squad that Matt's managing now, just because I don't, but he has to have guys on the IL on his bench because there's no
Right. Exactly.
There's no room.
We spoke about that. Me and Eric spoke about that. That you're gonna have like 4 or 5 guys that are injured, so you're gonna have to drop them because you don't have enough room on your roster to keep them.
Like I said, I had to do that with Hayes today. He wasn't in the lineup today. I didn't have another third baseman, but I'm not going to drop him. It's to get another third baseman.
Yeah. But gentlemen, believe it or not, I have to go do some 11 o'clock podcasting, bro.
Hey, awesome! You're always out there. You're always out there.
Oh, I'm not. I'll be on here. Yeah, we'll do this more, bro.
Awesome.
I get. I gotta stop, man. Do you guys get? I'm telling you guys, after last night's game, like I was so freaking depressed, and like when my wife can see my mood is just shot for the rest of the night. Dan, are you like that, bro? Like I can't. I'm serious. And if you guys aren't like that, can you help me? Can you help me? Because when I swear to God, I watched that game last night and swore up and down, I ain't watching today's game. I
can help you with that, Vince.
Help me, Dan,
I too was used to be like that. I'd get so pissed off, it ruined my day. If they lost, if they won, I was all psyched up. I had a good day. I was like that for years. But there's been just some little changes that I've made in my life, but that help that. But probably the biggest thing is just go meet some of the guys in the front office, and then you won't be so pissed off when they lose.
All right. See, Dan, that doesn't help me, man. I'm asking you for advice because you're old. Dan, you're old and wise, and I'm asking for advice, and you're not helping me.
The best thing I could say is it's still early, right? I don't know how much longer we could say that, but we're only 19 games in, so there's still a lot of baseball out there.
What's been horrible, Eric, is the first 20 games. It's like, bro, you're not even giving me a 2-day high. That's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem, bro. They haven't won 2 in a row in freaking April.
Right.
There's your deal right there. When you come to acceptance that as long as Farhan is in my view and many others, I don't think this team is gonna compete for championships with Farhan. Just because now maybe this year he gets out of his own way and he stops trying to run everything like it's fantasy baseball, and actually lets Melvin run the club and gets him the right tools. But I don't think it's Melvin's call who gets called up from Sacramento. That's all Farhan. And that's why.
But then I'm gonna push back. I'm gonna push back on you because he doesn't run it like it's fantasy baseball because Farhan makes more than 60 moves. All right, Dan. So, all right, let's not get crazy. Farhan will have 60 moves, bro, by May 1st.
Yeah, he did make more than 60 moves last year.
That's pretty. He did. I think it was over 70.
Farhan. Yeah. So,
hey, everyone, make sure you check out Vince. You could catch him on YouTube, Twitch, right?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, guys, tomorrow I am doing a live YouTube, guys. I'll probably do it at about 12 o'clock Eastern. That's going to be like 9 o'clock your time. It's youtube.com/Vince Russo brand. And I will be doing a live YouTube tomorrow. You guys can all join in and see it for free. And I will definitely, gentlemen, I will come on here during the homestand, bro. Let's see where we are, bro. Eric's been the one, though, Dan. I got to be. He talks me off the ledge every day.
Okay, he talks you off the ledge,
bro. He talks me off the ledge. But yeah, guys, I love coming on here. Let's get a 6-4 homestand, bro. 6-4.
6-4. I'll be happy with.
Yeah. All right, guys, take care, man.
Take it easy, Vince.
Bye. See you, Vince. All right.
All right. There's Vince Russo joining the show.
All right.
Always fun to have him on.
Yeah. Let's see. What is this Hiroku saying here? The Giants will take about 1 or 2 weeks before we know they're in or out of the third wild card. Wait, Giants will take about 1 or 2 weeks left.
Oh, talking about
before the left in the. Is he talking about the next 1 or 2 weeks, or is he talking about the 1 to 2 weeks left in the season?
No, I think he's talking about 1 or 2 weeks left now.
Talk about.
I think that's what he's trying to say.
I'm not sure. I don't think you can rule him out in the next 1 or 2 weeks.
You know what though? I think I might have to agree with him. They could go 6-4, but they can also go because they're taking advantage. They're going to get. I don't know what the hell they're going to do because I know Montgomery, this is going to be his first one back. So they may be able to jump. But the problem is you got Snell going. And if Snell.
See, I told you.
Wait, what?
Look it on the screen up on the board.
The season. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, you can't make it 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Yeah.
I know Hiroku, so that wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, thanks, Tap Out. He said, I'm sorry about my loss. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know who that is, right? That's Eric.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, Eric, did you get is your YouTube channel up yet? I'll give people a shout out for that.
Yeah, we'll when he gets that up and going, we'll bring Eric on, and he can promote the show. Yeah, we're all about promoting people's shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
do you think? I think they could win the first game, right?
Hey, the Giants. Anything could happen in baseball. Giants could go 9-1 on the homestand if.
Their bats need to wake up, and I don't know when. Maybe they do need to make some drastic moves on that.
I don't think their bats wake up soon. I think you come back to Candlestick. I always call it. Come back to Oracle. It's cold. It's windy. The park's big. They still haven't hit a home run.
Nope, they haven't.
I mean, it's obviously it's going to happen, but I'm more of a 4. Here's why I say 4 and 6. It all depends what they do with Arizona. If they get a split out of Arizona, they're going to do better.
They're sitting well.
6. Yeah, they get a split, then they got 6 games to go, but. I've just seen this team.
The pitching will keep them in it. That's what I've seen. Pitching will keep them in it, but the problem is you're just not able to knock those runs in because you'll get guys on base, but they're not knocking them in. So that's the issue right there. And look, if you're not going to bring up the young guys right now, then adjust the line. It's okay if you got a 26-man roster. There's nothing that says you got to keep it quote unquote set if it's not working. If it's not working, adjust. Right? I mean that I'm
waiting for the injury bug to hit them at some point.
It could.
I mean, it's going to hit them. It hits every team.
I tell you real quick on this, Dan, and I'll have to say this. He goes, Jim Turco says, Eric, I think JHL or Jung-Hoo Lee is figuring out 9-game hitting streak and hard contact. Los is right. Hit it on the ground right or hit it on the ground, find holes. Even more than that, he's growing on me because I noticed he's adjusting. Because he's see how he's going the opposite way a lot, and he's getting some line drives. It's not all ground balls.
No, he's learned to.
He's growing on me. He is growing on me.
Jung-Hoo Lee, I said I believe he's going to be a really good hitter. I don't know.
He's adjusting. I like that.
I think he hits above 275 for the season. I really do.
Yep.
What is he hitting now? What is he hitting now?
I'm not here. I think 280 maybe, somewhere around there.
Let me look. I don't think
I know one thing. I would like to see a little bit of more extra rate on some doubles. I would like to see some doubles. The only reason why I say that is it seems the Giants can't get anyone across the damn plate. Hopefully, if he's leading off and he's leading off with a double, maybe you're able to do something with that.
Is hitting 270. Okay.
270. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's projected by all analytic prior to the season. They all had him within a pretty close range of 285 to 291. That's pretty, dang, if he does that, that's really good. Yep. And I think I did say, and I do believe he's going to be a 300 hitter in his career at some point. He's going to learn to hit 300 in the league. I just don't know, it's such a long season. I mean, you're what, 19 games they've played?
19 now. Yeah, tomorrow will be number 20.
What are we pulling up here?
Here we go. This is Jung-Hoo Lee's baseball savant. Look at his batting. Exit velocity in the 86th percentile. His whip rate. Look at that.
Where are you seeing exit velocity on here?
Do you see it on there under batting? It's the 4th catergory down.
Oh,
average exit velocity, 86. He's at
92 miles per hour. That's good.
Yep. He's in the 86th percentile. His barrel percentage, not too good. See, that's the issue. I want to see that come up.
Because he's only barreling at 3%.
Yeah, if you're barreling it up, now that's where those doubles are going to come into play. The hard hit rate, 82th or 82nd percentile. The sweet spot percentage. See, he's a slap hitter. I get that. It's valuable to get guys on base. But you want to see a little bit more power. Maybe that'll come. We'll see. Yeah, he's not a small guy. He's what, 6'1"?
What's he? He's whiffing at 9.6%. He's at the top. He's at the best in the league.
Yeah, he's in a 100 percentile in the whiff.
That's where we kind of pegged him. We pegged him to be about 10%.
Now here's the deal. If that barrel rate comes up a little bit, maybe that whiff rate comes down just a little bit.
He struck out 10.3. Yeah, he's right there.
Right. But you see, and the thing is, see his base on balls percentage. He likes to put the ball in play. I wouldn't mind, again, to see a few walks out of him if you want to get the table set.
Yeah.
Base running, 98. Fielding, look at that.
Oh, I think he's going to be a fan favorite. I think he's going to be probably the most favorite of the fans.
Here you go. See where all his singles are?
Yeah.
And there's his 2 doubles.
He's got 1 home run, huh?
1 home run. And that was the one that was in San Diego, right?
San Diego, yeah. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Jung-Hoo Lee. Oh, should we look at no.
Who, Chapman?
Or Chapman or Soler?
I want to see what Chapman.
I want to see Chapman. Hold on 1 second.
I'm not going to dog Soler. Soler will be fine. He's just streaky.
See, you know who else was streaky too? Belt. Very streaky hitter.
A lot of guys are. Baseball is a crazy game.
Okay, here we go. Here's Chapman's numbers. Take a gander at this. He's slugging. His exit velocity, it's up there.
Yeah.
Right around where Jung Hoo
when
is.
when he hits it hard.
There, look at his barrel rates. You see the barrel rates and the hard hit? Yeah, it's up there, but look where the damn K percent.
What's his barrel rate? It's 14%.
Barrel rate? Yeah, but he's in the 88th percentile.
Okay. So
you got to look at it and compare it to the league.
Right.
But look at his K percentage. He's
Where
in the
is he?
35th percentile. See, that's again, it's swinging for the fences or not at all. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough.
The Giants have had some little bit of bad luck in that they've hit the ball hard at people
They've had a few situations where
and I think they were at one point about a week ago they were leading the league in hard ball hit rate.
Right.
I don't know where they are today, but if you see things like that, they tend to even out. You know
they do.
So then they get
the
bloopers and
the bloops and
things happen and those balls start falling. So,
but
hey guys. Go ahead.
Did they even hit any home runs in Miami? Yeah, Chapman, right? Was he the only one that hit a home run? No, Wade did too. My bad.
Wade hit one?
Wade hit one yesterday, right? Wasn't it yesterday in the right field? It was either yesterday or the day before. I know he had a home run over in Miami.
I don't remember that. That must have been the first game.
You know what? I could be wrong. That might have been Tampa Bay, actually.
I don't remember.
That might have been Tampa Bay. Yeah, it was Tampa Bay. I'm sorry.
He didn't. Yeah. So
Chapman was the only one with a home run, I think.
That was it, huh?
In a 3-game series.
Wow.
See, it's weird, man.
Yeah.
I hope they kind of tinker with that lineup a little bit. With the you got a 26-man.
Yeah.
So adjust accordingly. I would like to see that.
Los D, let me see what he says. This is what I was saying earlier, I think, right? Lee, Matos, Conforto, Soler, Chapman, Wade, Luciano, Bailey, Estrada equals winner. Yeah, it's a better lineup. It's definitely a better lineup.
You know what, though? I think I'd rather move Conforto, Soler, and Chapman down one. And maybe put Wade in that top. Maybe put Wade in the leadoff.
No.
Because he sees a lot of pitches.
Yeah, here's the problem with some of the things I was going to mention. The Giants trying to take so many pitches to work the pitchers. The problem is when you take a lot of pitches, you get 2 strikes on you, and you don't. Man, if you see a pitch that's your pitch to hit, I don't care if it's the first pitch. Swing at it. You're not going to see the same pitch. You're not going to see a fastball down the middle again.
If it's down the middle, right? Exactly.
I mean, if it's in your wheelhouse, go for it. You don't see these these excellent teams missing balls that are in their zone. They attack.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they just go out and attack. The Giants' philosophy of trying to get the pitcher. Look, I know the analytics, get to the starting pitcher, get him out of the game early, get to the bullpen. But in doing so, I mean, what's the end result? They're taking pitches, getting a couple guys on base. They can't hit them in.
Yep.
Because they're not swinging at the best pitches. I don't know. Problem is when you get down to a major league pitcher 0-2 or 1-2, it's tough. Unless the pitcher makes a mistake, it's tough to get a hit.
Absolutely. Let me get the music started here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tomorrow, what time is it? Oh, I'm looking at my clock. Clock stop. I'm looking at the clock. I'm looking at 7:45. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock.
Gosh, I kept thinking it's 9:45. I was looking at that. I said I would be off by.
You got to replace the batteries in that thing.
Yeah.
It's 10:01, so you're not over too bad.
All right, everybody. We are out of here. We'll be back tomorrow night after the Giants game.
What time is it? 6:45?
6:45. We will be back around 9:15, 9:30 tomorrow night. Until then, everybody have a great one. See ya.
Woo!